Testing. Hello, check, check. Can you guys hear me? Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Byron is live. Do you guys want to see what our guys talking about, what our guys on about? Let's start with that. Let me pull it over here. All right. So Byron is live and he's talking about NATO expansion. I don't think that's going to be important. Let's just take it away. I'm just doing the same thing over and over. Alright, so looks like we are gapping lower today, and the ES is down almost 1/4%, and NASDAQ is down almost the same. So leading into today, we had some good news regarding the PCE. I wouldn't call it good news, but it's comparatively better when you ask me about it. So at least the headline number came in lower than expected, but the consumer spending was also down because inflation is biting into people's pockets, so they don't want to spend a lot anymore. So that happened, and after that, what else? The unemployment numbers went higher, but not that higher, so it's no big deal, I guess, for now. So leading into today, we will be watching semiconductors, SMH. Looks like they had a terrible day yesterday, and they're gapping it lower today as well. Today might be a good day to play the bounce in Nvidia and Amazon, provided we bounce from 202 and 200 in SMH. If we break below that, oh boy, things are gonna get ugly real quick, because the next stop for semiconductors is gonna be all the way down at $190. There's a gap to fill under at 187, and we're gonna go all the way to 183. What I'm looking at right now is called SMH. So this is the ETF which tracks all the semiconductor stocks. When you see this go down, you can automatically assume that all the semiconductors are getting taken to the woodsheds. So SMH is the ETF which tracks semiconductors, just like how all the other sectors like XLF, which tracks the financials, XLK, which tracks the technology. Just like that, SMH tracks all the semiconductors stocks. So you can see yesterday it went lower, and you can see the performance of Nvidia and AMD. So there are multiple stocks trading under this ETF, and AMD and Nvidia is just one of them. So watch out for 202 and 200 to the downside. If we break below that, well, we are gonna get fucked. AMD and Nvidia can take another leg lower, but for now, your risk is at $200 in SMH, especially if you're playing semiconductors. So next one is SPY. Let's just go over the morning notes and see what do we have. I have a lot of lines drawn today for the intraday levels, so I don't want to confuse you guys, but for now 375 is important to the downside. Below 375 it can take us to 373 or 372. Like this is, you can call it a zone, 373 and 372. But if they decided to pummel down, I won't be surprised they're going to stop it until they go and fill this gap at 369. That will also complete the 180-hour move. It's something to keep an eye out for. So watch out for 375 and watch out for 373. Those two are important numbers. So I just rounded up for you guys, so it'll be easier to understand. So in case we push higher after the opening bell, in case we hold on to 375 and start pushing higher, watch out for 378. That's going to be a massive resistance to the downside, which will also be the gap fill which we made yesterday. So 378 is important, and about 378 we're going to go all the way up to 380 or 383.50 or 385 to fill that gap. So these are the important numbers to keep an eye out for. So we'll see what we have leading into today's session. Oh, if you guys trade QQQ, 280 is very important. 280 is an important number to keep an eye out for. Below 280, it opens doors for this gap fill at 276. Below 276, we are looking at running a test to the lows which we made a few days back at 269. It's looking pretty ugly out there, but not the end of the world, I guess. The chart's already looking ugly, but if we break these critical points, probability of testing the lows which we made a few weeks back is still higher. So let's see, what do we got on tape for today? So are you guys watching anything over here? Let's see, MU. Yep, as I said before, keep an eye out for semiconductors. We can take the risk over here. Nothing is going to, like, we can take the risk. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. You can always get out for small loss, but if it did work out, there's a huge risk to reward to the upside from where it is trading at right now. You also got to keep an eye out for multiple things when you're trading this. So you got to keep an eye out for 275 in SPY and 280 in QQQ. If they are not obliging to those two numbers, there is no point in going long over here. Once it breaks 200, take the money and run. Take the money and run, don't look back, because the next stop is at 190. We don't want to be like going against the trend, because semiconductors is one of the major component in NASDAQ. If NASDAQ starts breaking critical levels, there's no point in staying long in semiconductors, expecting it to go higher when NASDAQ is pummeling down. But watch out for 200 in SMH. We can bounce, we can have some tradable bounces from here, at least to like 204 or 205. So that is a nice scalping opportunity. I got UVXY calls in 17.5 strikes. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's actually a good hedge, you know, like let it, I mean, UVXY is the volatility, right? Just like VXX. So you're betting on volatility to go higher. That's good. Tesla, what's going on in here? Alright, Tesla looks like it's still bucking to that 680. So we're opening below it today. If we open below it, watch out for the lows of yesterday at 668. And there is a gap to fill, which is at 662. We might come down to fill that gap today, not gonna lie, because yesterday we didn't. So it's unfinished business over there. We can come down to fill this gap and then pummel down all the way to the lows of 627. Something to keep an eye out for. Interesting. So the market open, let's keep an eye out for, I'll give you guys some time to close out the trades which you guys haven't closed out yet, so you can go ahead and finish that off first. So go ahead, close out some trades and come back for the new ones. So let's see what's going on with SPY. We are opening about 375 as usual. Right, CHPT is interesting here, isn't it? Like, we had a massive run and now we're just like pummeling down, like, for no reason. Alright, so let's move on to the 15-minute chart. I hope you guys closed all the puts or whatever you guys had after the market open. Right, so we are looking at 378 on SPY. Like, if we get rejected right over here, and if we break 375, then that's not going to be a good look for SPY leading into the rest of the session. Watch out for 375, watch out for 373, watch out for 370, and the gap fill at 369 if we start drilling lower. See how far this can go. For now, 375 is still important. The pre-market high is sitting at 376.84. Nasdaq is drilling lower here. I've kind of figured SPY would go down a little more. Yeah, of course, like, it's possible. It's possible. I didn't sell out of my TQQ puts as well. I'm still holding on to it. Not selling anytime soon. SMH, let's keep an eye out for it. As I said, we'll keep an eye out for it. It's very important chart when if you're trading, especially if you're trading stocks like Nvidia and AMD. So this chart is very, very important. So keep a close eye out for it. If you guys want to go long or go short, watch out for 375 in SPY and 280 in QQQ. Yeah, I just closed out some of my spreads which I opened yesterday. Bear spreads on Apple. Closed it out, and the Amazon, I'm still holding on to it for 102 regardless of what it is. Like, as long as we're staying below 109 in Amazon, I'm holding on to my bear spreads regardless of what happens, because mine expires only on what date? September. So it's no big deal. The puts in TQQ, they are going wild, I'm telling you. So for now, QQQ is bucking to the 280 levels. It's a good thing. Let me go on to the regular trading. So let's see if we can buck to this trend for a longer period of time. So I might hold on to my TQQ puts as long as the QQQ is staying under 282. So if you break below it, I mean, it's still below it, so it's time to like stay afoot. So I have made back the $90 loss, closing the other one earlier. Sorry, I did say, did you say Tesla going down? I mean, if QQQ broke 280, I'm fairly certain that the Tesla is going to follow down and fill that gap. — 680 resistance. Let's see if we can break it in Tesla. I don't trust this. I don't trust this at all. Don't fall for it. We're pushing higher in Tesla here, about 680, running a test to the highs of yesterday. And got rejected. Let's see how it goes. Don't enter it if you haven't entered it. Wait for confirmation. Let's see if we break about 680, or if it's not, there is like no trade in here. Wait for the candle to close. Amazon below 106 here. Let's see what the SPY is doing. SPY is barely holding on to 360, 375 in here. Tesla is pushing higher. Alright. Interesting developments in here in the price action, not gonna lie. We're still holding on to some critical levels, but SPY is breaking down. I wouldn't touch Tesla here. It looks like a bull trap. Don't fall for it. And if QQQ breaks the critical levels, Tesla is gonna pummel down. If you didn't go short, now it will be a good time. Here we go in Qs. We're falling. Right. I'm gonna hold on to my TQQ puts for a bit longer here, because we can go down all the way to 276. Alright, getting back into the focus now. Alright, so what are you guys watching for today? ZIM 45 puts. What is ZIM? ZIM, let's see. Oof, why is that gap down today? $45 puts. I mean, if we break below this low, which is at 46.30, I can see it playing out immediately. The ATR is at $3. We opened at 47. We can see 44 if Nasdaq is showing weakness, not gonna lie. It's a pretty decent play, mate. Your stops will be, I guess, at 46.81, if I'm right. Hold on to it, it's a pretty good play. I'm keeping an eye out for CHPT charge point here. Looks like charge point wants to go down to run a test to $13. That is what I'm watching. 13.17 is the exact number which I'm keeping an eye out for in charge point. So if we pummel lower, that'll be an interesting stock to keep an eye out for. SPY is nearing our next level, which is at 373.84. Charge point takes out the lows of yesterday, which is at 13.52. We can go down to run a test to the 50 SMA at $13 or all the way at 13.19. Interesting stock, interesting chart to keep an eye out for. So I mean, the market gassed up. I hope Tesla tanks heavily. How low Tesla can go. Oh, a lot of people are trading Tesla here. Interesting. As I said, it's a bull trap. Like, there is no fucking way possible that Nasdaq is pummeling down and the Tesla is giving a huge green candle. It's to trap the people in to think that it's gonna go higher. We got rejected immediately, and if you shorted it over here at the highs of yesterday's rejection, you already made like 10 points to the downside. How low it can go, I already said. Oh, we have a gap to fill in Tesla, which is an unfinished business. They didn't do it yesterday, which is at 663. They can go all the way down to fill that gap, 662 exactly, provided they take out 667. That's how low Tesla can go. Or if we have a drill down operation on QQQ, we can easily go down to run a test to like 630 or like 625 in Tesla. It gave an easy opportunity to get in for the shorts here. If you didn't get in yet, get in at 667 break. Don't get in right now. 687 is your entry. If you missed it, wait for it to take out the lows. Until then, no rush at all. A lot of other good setups. SMH semiconductors still bucking to that 200 levels here. Nothing much. If we break below it, then it's concerning. Until it doesn't, we are going to chill. If you guys are trading AMD and Nvidia, keep an eye out on this chart. You got to make sure that this stays above 200. If it goes below 200, and if you're longing stocks like let's say an AMD, Nvidia, MU, you're gonna get hit pretty hard. So keep an eye out for this. Important charts to watch. As I said before, if SPY and QQQ are drilling lower, I don't think that this is going to go higher. Just like what I said on Tesla, it's the same thing, different sectors. That's how it works. You need everything. If you're going in on calls, you need everything to go up in unison. Like the SPY should go higher, QQQ should go higher. If these two are in an uptrend, then you can just take the risk and then go long on SMH, because there is a high chances that the SMH will go higher as well. But for now, watch out for 200. And if SPY, by the time it hits for 200 and SPY, if you see SPY at 370 or something, then yeah, go for it, take the risk. But until then, be very careful. Amazon. Looks like 102 is nearing, boys. Amazon is looking ugly here. The interesting part is we caught this at here, exactly here. Where is it? 116. See this? We caught it right here at the top. So I'm still holding on to my puts, which I got it at 116. I ain't planning on selling anytime soon until it gives me 113 or at least 102. If we break below 102, that's a totally different story because it's gonna go all the way down to like 80 bucks. So I'm still holding on to my September puts over here. So no rush at all. Hope Tesla tanks heavily. Oh, it will. SPY is giving a small limpy candle at 373, and I don't think it's gonna last much longer. Looks like a trend day to the downside. QQQ is still drilling lower, and Q looks like it wants to fill that gap. Watch out for the gap at QQQ at 277. There is a gap over here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. There is a gap in QQQ which is sitting right over here. If I zoom in, you can see it. From this close, which is on June 17th to June 21st, the long weekend, you can see the gap between 277 and all the way to 278. So if we break below, where is the lows? If we break below 277.91, we can come down to fill this gap at 277. And if we close below it, then that's a totally different story. But for now, watch out, important levels to keep an eye out for. CHBT is still holding on. It's interesting. Why is it holding on? Doesn't work like that. Right, so let's see. So did you guys already secure profits in your puts or calls? How's it going? Alright, so here we go. The big red candle in QQQ. Big, huge red. Interesting. Huge red. Right, let's just fill this gap and get this done, get this over with. Amazon looks like it wants to drill down further. 105 is barely holding on. Alright, so let's go on to the final charts. It looks like a trend day we have in our hands. Like if it's another 3% or 2% day, it's gonna get ugly. I don't think the volume is pretty much higher, but it's just been 15 minutes into the session, so we can't say much about what's going on right now. We can't draw any conclusions based off of it. Beautiful break on Apple. What is Apple doing? Apple. Oh, here we go, breaking 135. Interesting. Right, Apple can get to 132 here, not gonna lie. If we keep drilling down, if we close today below 137 or 136.68 today, which was below the lows, we can easily get down to run a test to 132. No problems at all. So SPY is still hanging around at the 373 zone. Nothing big to concern about yet. I mean, it is already concerning when we broke below 378, but still, as I said in the morning notes, as long as the price is below 378, watch out, because it's nothing to be bullish on here. It's no time to go heavy on calls. There's no time to, like, take unnecessary risk thinking that it will go higher. If it goes higher, we can take the risk after that. You don't have to be perfect with your entry and your exits. It's okay to miss out on 3% and get in after getting confirmation, rather than trying to call the bottom and then get wrecked repeatedly. Alright, looks like SMH is testing the bottom here. Let's see. SPY is holding on to 373. Or is it waiting for that moving averages to catch up? Interesting. Let's see. If you guys want to take a risk for calls, 373 is a risk. If you guys are kind of scalping, watch out for 376. So if it breaks 376, exit the long scalps, run the other way. So I am closing out on my Amazon bear spreads as well over here, which I opened yesterday. So let me just get this done with. Right, so I'm still holding on to my QQQ regardless of what happens. Like, it's not about certain price points, which I wanted it to be. So let's see. I'm keeping an eye out for semiconductors for a play to the upside. If you guys were interested, you can just join me up into it. If you guys want to take the risk, go ahead, do it. Haha. Waiting it out, ending up working in my favor. Awesome. Right, so we are sitting at support and SPY. We gotta wait and see if it's gonna be another boring floater day and slowly melting up to the downside, or we're gonna get some volatility back in the market. We're already down 1.5%, and yeah, I hope you guys made money on Amazon puts. I hope you guys made money on all the other puts. So let's see. Where do you think AMC going? So he's jumping into the QQQ and secured quick profits while we were talking about it about 5 minutes ago. I got my account back to positive from where I started. Decided to stop, but stop for the day. The portfolio is up 26.71. Thanks for being chill. It tells me take my days with insanity. It's fine, mate. Like, you don't have to get stressed. If you lose, you lose. It's a part of the game. As long as you don't lose big, you'll be fine, completely fine. For now, the top of the gap is holding a support, or did we already fill the gap? That's the question. Yep, we already filled the gap in QQQ, and now we are pushing higher. The gap is filled. Alright, so now it's a good time for me to secure my longs. I think so. Alright, so let me close out on my QQQ shorts here for profits. If it goes down further, it goes down further. Let me see, where are we right now? I'm currently up like 200% on this. I gotta just like sell it out and then get back in later after a dead cat bounce, I guess, or I'm just gonna wait it out. No worries, I'm just gonna wait it out. It expires on September. I don't mind losing another 2 or 3% of this. The risk reward is too high to the upside. Where do you see AMC going? AMC, what do we have here? Alright, it is still lurking below the 50-day moving average, so I don't see it going anywhere, to be honest. I see it like being range bound. As long as it stays below $14.50, I don't see it going anywhere. So for now, the range is between $12 and $14, back and forth, back and forth. So if we break below $14, we can see AMC running a test to like $15.83, and above that, we can see AMC running a test to $18 to the upside. Coin, it's been a long time since I look at this. Holy shit, $45. Didn't this shit IPO at 400? Wow. What the fuck? Markets are fucking brutal, man. This is absolutely unreal. Looks like if we close the day below, what is it? Lows $46, we can easily go down to run a test to $40. Easy. $40 is in the cards if we close the day below 40 or 46. That's what I'm watching again. I got a lottery puts on CHBT yesterday. Would you short Nvidia at the lows of the day? Would I short Nvidia at the lows of the day? As I said before, keep an eye out for SMH. That is important. Nvidia as a support at 147. You gotta ask yourself, is it worth it for shorting for 3 points from where it is right now? I would say no. So there's no risk to reward here. If you're paying like $600 to enter a contract, 3 points will make you what, $180? There is no point at all. Like, absolutely unreal. Keep an eye out for SMH though. That's what I said. Like, SMH is sitting at support here. I wouldn't recommend going short at this area when SMH is sitting right at support, because if this goes higher, a lot of buyers will step in at 200, at least for a tradable bounce. So keep an eye out for it. So where do you think SPY going today? Let me pull up my notes and let me just take a look. Let me just show you guys and explain what I meant. All right, so I gotta minimize this. So here you go. So for SPY, I'm watching 278. Like of course we opened below it, and there are 4 numbers which I'm keeping an eye out for. 375.32, we broke that as support, and that is going to be a resistance on the way up now. 373.92, which we are holding and we are bouncing from now. If we break this, watch out for 370, watch out for 368 to the downside. So every time one of these supports get violated, it'll come up, immediately turns into resistance. So if we break 373.92 and go below it at 370, on the way up, 373.92 is going to be a resistance. So watch out for it. These are the 4 numbers which I have. So if you got, most of you guys will be a part of the Discord, so you can go ahead and check it out under market updates, or if you're a Patreon member, you can check it out under Patreon channels as well. So the numbers are clearly mentioned over there, and I'll explain it with the charts and the numbers side by side if you guys are into that. So as you can see, let me go on to the 15-minute charts. Right, as you can see, the 5 minutes, so we try to hold on to that second number, whatever we had, which was at, let me minimize this. Oh, I can't minimize it. Nice. All right, here we go. So we had the second number here, which is sitting at 373.92. So we held it as support for a while with the 2 tiny green candles, and then we got rejected immediately and now pummeling down lower. If we do close candles below this number, which automatically means it opens doors for the next number at 370. So if we break below 370, that's a sad story, because it's going to go down to fill that gap at 369. So it also completes one ATR move. The ATR for today is $9.70. So something to keep an eye out for. If that's the destination, we are going to go there to that destination today to fill that gap at 369. You see this red box over there? That's where I'm watching for SPY to go for today, at least, like if we keep selling off today. If you are a QQQ type of trader, which means if you're trading NASDAQ, I have this zone, area of interest from 276 to all the way to like 280 to 281. Breaking below 276 opens doors for 274, or breaking below 274 opens doors for 269. So simple as that. If you the basic, I have explained it in the morning notes, very basic way on what is what, so it'll be easier to like understand over there. So go ahead, check it out in the Discord. Thoughts on monthly calls as opposed to day trading options? Would it be safer to have a long-term horizontal or long-term horizon for options as opposed to that of the short term? Depending on what trade you're taking and depending on the trend which you're going against, because I have a long-term puts on NASDAQ, not long-term calls, long-term puts, because it favors the trend and it favors the overall market direction, the way it is going, plus it is not in an uptrend. So you buying calls in the market which is downtrending is like not a good idea. If we're in a bull market, yeah, it makes sense, because like every lows we make, we're gonna make a higher low in the upcoming month, so the price are just gonna keep going higher and higher and higher. But in a bear market, especially when we are in a downtrend, I don't see any point in buying monthly longs. Technically what you're doing here is just bottom fishing, expecting the price to go down to your favor after you get in. So that almost always don't end up in our favor. So don't do it. Like, don't go against the trend. Bet on the trend. Like for now, if you're playing scalps, just like day trader, get the day done with, so you don't have to be panicking every single day. With the puts which I have, I don't have to be panicking every single day because I know the trend is in the direction of my favor. I'm pretty sure whatever bounce we're gonna get are gonna get shorted down, because yesterday you saw the bounce which we had. Like, it's not a bounce, we had a flat trading day, but that didn't make me sell my puts, because like this bounce is nothing, because the direction is to the downside. We didn't break any resistance areas above, and yesterday's close was terrible, so I held on to it, and today this happens. So be on the direction of the trend. Betting against the trend is never a good thing. It almost always don't end up in our favor. Is there another Fed announcement today? I don't think so. Do we? Is any of the other shitheads talking today? I don't think any of them are. Nope, that's it. We're done. Like, we're not no Fed speakers today. It's a quiet day from now. We already got all the data which we need. We already got all the data, whatever we needed for the day. We got the PCE inflation numbers, we got the core PCE inflation, real consumer spending, nominal personal income, we got everything. So, yep, nothing to panic about. We are just going to slowly trend lower for the rest of the day. So let me just pop back in to see what our favorite charge point is doing. Interesting. We are going lower. I just need a few more points to the downside to $13.14 before I can secure the profits on my puts. I got the $13 weekly puts, by the way. It's a degenerate move, but I don't care. It's the charts were on my favor, so I just wanted to take the risk for CHPT to run a test to this downward sloping 50 SMA. So I got in yesterday, the rejection at 20 SMA at 14.18. I might close it out in another few minutes. I'm already up like 80-90% on this, so I don't see any point in like holding on to it when it's actually nearing the support levels. But I'm just gonna let it go for another few cents, like another like 10 or 15 cents, and I'm gonna call it a day for CHPT trade. Come on, boy, dump it. Looks like SPY said SPY has no chill for today. Yep, we are gonna go down to 370 most likely. The 372 will be the next small stop. After that, it's gonna go all the way to 370 to the downside. Interesting, interesting, interesting. When I say always bet in the direction of the trend, stocks like charge points are one of the best examples, because like when you go on to a monthly call, it's like, nah, we're just gonna go higher and then dump lower, go higher, dump lower, go higher and dump even further. So not worth it at all. Are you still buying the XPI calls? Nope. I was talking about it in the Discord a few days back. I was waiting for it to break under 73 to take the calls over there, but with the way SPY and QQQ are looking right now, that trade is totally off the table. I'm not touching it until I see strength in SPY and QQQ. But it is sitting at the critical levels right now. They did have a bounce and got rejected immediately at the 75 levels. That's one red flag for me. And we are nearing the low AV VAP from the lows, which is at 71.97. If SPY and QQQ keeps tanking, I'm pretty sure tomorrow morning they're gonna gap it down below all these three moving averages and then like start on their way to like make the new low. So the conviction which I had 2 days back when the SPY was decent is not the same conviction which I have right now. It changed, price action changes, so is my opinion. So I'm not gonna stick to my bias to take the trade when the price action is not in my favor. So I'm out. Like, it's still have it on my watch list, but I'm not going to take any trades until SPY is showing strength again. What is your advice? I have SPXS $24 call June 15. Currently I'm at 100% gain. What is XPXX? Is it oh, it's a bear. All right. Alright, so in order to trade this, you just got to keep an eye out for SPY, mate. Like, because the SPY can get to like 370. So when you see the SPY at 370, consider securing some profits at least, because This is a leveraged ETF. If SPY gives a massive rally to the upside, then don't be surprised to see you losing almost like half of it in almost a day. So it's not a nice way to, like, sit on the trade. So if you see profits in this, like, I would recommend you take it when SPY hits 372 or 370 by today. You can always get back in. Also remember, these triple leveraged ETFs are not long-term holds. Don't buy long-term calls on it. Just use it to day trade it. Just use it to, like, hold it for a weekly basis or whatever it is. Do not hold them for much longer. It's not recommended, because it's something called as ETF decay on these shit. So if SPY goes up like 10%, I mean, let's say SPY is not going to go up 10%. When SPY goes up like 3% or whatever it is, this is going to go down like 12 or 13%. So when SPY goes down, I mean, SPY goes down 2%, it's not going to go down, it's not going to go up 13%. So you will see the changes in the premiums immediately. So it's not worth it to hold on to these stocks for a longer period of time. When you see the profits, when you see the pump at the IV, take it and run it, and you can always enter it in the later, you can always enter it later. So no big deal at all. SMH is approaching 200. Yes sir, SMH is approaching 200, and I won't be surprised if it breaks 200. So let's see, SPY is also nearing the supported 372. SMH is also nearing, so it's gonna be something interesting to keep an eye out for, not gonna lie. Alright, I closed out on my charge point puts. I'm still holding on to my QQQ. I want to wait and watch. So is it a good time to get calls on SPY at 370? Provided they give a bounce, yes, there's gonna be a nice tradable opportunities in SPY when they give us 370 or 369. Can I buy a SPY put now? Like, I mean, there is no risk to reward here right now, because we're nearing support. Like, if you didn't get in the morning, then there's no point in getting in right now. So watch out, we are nearing support. SMH is sitting right at support. So SMH did already complete one ATR move. What's the ATR? 18 bucks. Holy shit. No, that is for the weekly. I'm tripping. Alright, so we opened at 203. Let's see if we one ATR move and SMH takes it all the way to like 203 minus 8, 185, 195. So let's see if one ATR move and SPY takes it all the way to 169. But watch out, keep a close eye on it. So something to, like, interesting developments in SPY over here. Amazon at 102.63. Secure profit. Simple as that. We hit the target. Amazing. Let me just send out the updates to the members of the Discord. Amazon hit 102. Secure profits. Alright, so that's good, that's done with. So let's see what we got. Caterpillar, JP Morgan, what do we have in here? Oh, financials are getting mollywopped as usual. Caterpillar is not looking good as well. You should have bought Amazon puts at yesterday's close. Mate, we've been calling this out since this break at 116. If we break 102, you have a lot of chances to go short again on Amazon. So chill out, no worries. Like, I mean, not all the trades, you don't have to chase it here. We might get some bounces here and there on Amazon from where it is trading at right now. So don't worry about it. If you didn't get in out there, there's always another chances. There's always another trade. You don't have to chase it. Right, so I'm cutting my debit spreads, which I opened for Amazon a while back. It's a $80 puts. I opened it for $60 each. Right now it's trading at $234. Absolutely unreal. sitting at strong support, we pivot out, no point in waiting. All right, so I closed out on my Amazon trades here. If we break below 102 or close today below 101, yeah, I'm out. All right, so we are done with. Yeah, go ahead and check out my Discord, guys. It's pretty fun. It's interesting. So Shopify. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Didn't they have the split? Let's just split the stock when we are in a downtrend and our company stock price is losing money, and we split it and we're still losing money. Interesting. That's not how it should go. All right, so they can easily run a test to $30 here, mate. Easy. Like if they break below the lows at 31.26, we can easily run a test to like $30. So this stock is not something which you should be like anyway closely associated with. It can go as low as, like, you never know, it can go like to like $15, it can go to like 14, like you'll never know how low it can go. So I mean, if it can go from all the way from like 1700 to like 300 in a matter of 6 months, who am I to say that it won't go down from 30 to 15 in another 3 months? So do you think Tesla will retest 687? Tesla is at 667. It did open at 687, didn't it? Like, why didn't you secure profits there? What's going on? The highs of the day was at 687. For now, the probability is Tesla can come down to run a test and fill that gap at 662. What's the ATR in Tesla again? So we have the opening print on Tesla at 673. If we go down, we can easily go down to like $47 from where it is trading right now in case of worst case scenario. So it's not looking good. I don't see Tesla going back to 687 today, but I mean, if SPY bounces from 370 or 372, I don't see why not. SPY holding support, really? Is it? Let me see. I don't think so. It's not in the support yet. With 372.12 is the support. We didn't get there. We will get there. Looks like a trend day to the downside. Don't bet against the trend. Like, let it play out. We need to see some buyers show up at least. They will show up maybe at 372 or at 370 level. So we wait until then. Amazon is the interesting thing to keep an eye out for here. What an ugly day. What an ugly day. Interesting. I want SPY to give me at least a rally to like 370, 380, 374 at least before, like, you know, for the next like lower. I think Tesla will get back to 375 for another entry for the put. Alright, so you didn't enter it at the open from what I read. So Tesla is sitting at support at this moment, so if you don't want to short it in here, so wait for it to close below 667, and if it closes below 667, you have a trade for like what, 3 points. It's like, I don't even know, I don't even think it's worth it. But let me see where the next support for Tesla comes in at. Tesla almost filled the gap. So alright, I don't see any support in Tesla until like $620 or whatever it is. So don't go for weekly options. I mean, yeah, don't do that. At least give yourself some time. Get yourself like September puts if you're gonna go short. So it's gonna be expensive, but at least like it's gonna give you a higher probability of winning when you get in. So go for September puts if you're gonna go short on Tesla. Like, I can see this do something like this. We are just having a series of lower highs and lower highs and lower highs, right? So there is a trend line which is negatively sloping over here, and we can do something like this. We can just like come back higher to run a test to this trend line, get rejected, run a test, get rejected, and it's gonna be something like this if you're gonna go lower, because there's a lot of bulls in Tesla who's like, you know, I personally believe Tesla is gonna be a Cisco of 2022. I mean, the Cisco has the same vibes, and it used to be at all-time highs in 2020, I mean 2000s, and right now it's like 80% of the highs. It's not even close to the all-time highs. So I believe that Tesla will be one of them, but who cares? Like, I don't like to speculate, so let's see. if you're gonna go short, go for like 2 months out. You're playing, the trend is in your favor, you can always cut the losses if it didn't go in your way, but as long as you have a proper risk management, your stops should be at $700. So if you close below above 700, yeah, you can always get out. If you didn't, you can always like keep playing the higher lows, keep scaling up on every higher lows we get all the way to the downside. So for now, keep an eye out for 639 to the downside and 622 as another level to the downside. So those are the 2 levels to keep an eye out for. Let's see what QQQ is on about. Yeah, we're still drilling lower. No stop in sight. 1 ATR move in QQQ will be completed if we go down to 271. Shopify trend. Oh, I'll just show you, you tell me. I'll just zoom out this chart and you can see it for yourself. Is this something which you want to buy? Answer should be no. Because we are at 2020, like we had this massive rally and we are at the lows of 2020. So if it can give up all these gains in 2 months of time, I mean, in like literally like from November, it used to be trading at 1700, I mean, which is the split equivalent of like 174. Right now it's trading at 31. What's stopping it to go down to like $15 now? Nothing. So I mean, even at $30, it is still overvalued. You know that? It's still overvalued. Absolutely unreal. Imagine how overvalued it is at 1,700. Like it's insane. People are absolutely insane, I'm telling you. So it is like, wait for it. I mean, it's okay to miss out on 5% of 5% of the bounces, technically. 5% of the losses, it's mine. If it bounces from here and you see, if you miss out on 10%, who cares? If you miss out on 20%, who cares? You still have a massive way to go to the upside. It's better to like wait for the buyers to show up and then hop in to the stock after you see the strength, instead of trying to call the bottom every single time. If you try to call the bottom here, you should have made money. And if you just thought like, I'm gonna hold on to it long term, yeah, you got lost again. Like it went down another 20% to the downside from where it is trading at. If you bought the dip over here, because it went from like 160 to 1, I mean, if you bought the dip over here and then you bought the dip here, you bought the dip here, you bought the dip here, you bought the dip, you bought the dip, you bought the dip, how long will you be keep buying the dip? It's like not worth it. So wait for the stock to like show some strength, wait for SPY and QQQ to show some strength. So until that time, you gotta just stay on the sidelines. There's a lot of multiple stocks to like trade at. I'm not long, we are at a point where like I won't even recommend longing SPY. So Shopify on the other hand, yeah, not gonna work. Just because the stock is cheap doesn't mean you have to buy it. That's all it is. Like these companies, these shitheads who run these companies wants you to buy the stock because like they want to prop up the price. That's the reason why the company split during bear markets. If they split it, like there will be FOMO investors who's like, oh, it used to be trading at $1,700 or $300 before, now it's only trading at $30. I'm gonna buy a lot of it. And even after doing that, this didn't do shit. That's how bad the stock is. That's my point. Even after the split, it still went down 10%. So company, if you love the company, that's totally different. Company is not the same as the stock price. So company can really do good, but if the overall economic conditions are bad, stock is gonna go down regardless of what it is. Should I exit my PFE calls now? What do you have on PFE? Pfizer. What's going on in there? Oh, Pfizer is up 1%. Interesting. Depends on when you got in, to be honest. Like if you got in at the open, you set your stop losses at $51 and then just chill out. Like if it break below 51, you can always exit it, and if it didn't break below 51, you can just hold on to it. With SPY's coming here supports as well, so I don't see why not. So as long as it stays above 51, you can just hold on. There's a probability that it can run a test to 52, you'll never know. Basically your answers are always read the chart. I'm learning to read better, thanks. Yeah, basically my answer is not to always read the chart, but to like use risk management. That's all it is. Like if you're not using risk management, and if you're gonna go heavy on the chart which looks like this, then it's not gonna end well at the end of the day. GBTC, what is it? Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Is that what we're talking about, mate? Yeah, it's about Shopify. Shopify, as I said, don't even touch it. Stay far away from it until it shows some strength. You'll be better off buying this at $50 than trying to bottom fish here right now. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's okay to miss out on $20 of gain and get in after the stock is showing strength than, like, you know, trying to bottom fish and then lose everything. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I mean, this is like I don't even know what to tell about the stock. Is it the fund which tracks Bitcoin? Is that what it does? Like, I mean, I can see it on the name, but is it a leveraged ETF? What's going on? I mean, Bitcoin is losing 20k here, and if it loses 17k, it can get to 12k. So it's totally up to you. I mean, do you want to take the risk over here in this? I mean, I can see this going all the way to like $9 or even like $8 or even test this levels at $4 if if Bitcoin goes to like 12k. We'll never know. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend touching it now. Maybe if Bitcoin hits 12,000, maybe you can take chances for longs in this, but until then, it's better to wait out. SPY puts now. What SPY is doing? Is it going higher? No, it's not. Why all of a sudden SPY puts? What's going on? Let me see. Oh, looks like we got rejected at the first level. So, I mean, if you want to go short, you can go short with stop losses at right now, right at 373.89. But I would say don't go short if you want to, like, and there's no risk to reward to the downside from where it is trading out right now. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if you got puts at the open, the risk to reward to like 370 is way higher than if you're buying puts over here. You're spending, like, I'm pretty sure, for even if it's 370 puts, I'm pretty sure you'll be spending like at least $200 to get in the contract. Like, this is for 2-day expiry. So if SPY drops $2 from here, you'll be making like $60. So, I mean, for spending $200 to make $60, that's a shit risk to reward, mate. Like, if it goes higher, you lose 200. If it goes to 370, which is the support, you make 60. I mean, that's not the type of trade which you want to take. I mean, you make money, you make $60, but how much you can lose, you got to keep an eye out for that too, because you can lose a lot of money if it didn't go in your favor, and risk to reward is for 2 points, so not worth it. But if you got the puts at 376 at the open, the same 370 puts will be going for somewhere around like $80 or something, and if it goes down to 370, you'll be making like 250, 260, 300. You'll never know. $80 to 300, the risk reward is absolutely amazing. So that's a good thing. So if you enter it right now, you're overpaying and you're not yielding that much of money in return. ARC puts, I'm always in for some ARC puts. Not gonna lie, I hate that. I hate Cathy. Short Cathy Woods. Make money. Yeah, I'm just kidding. So for the ARC, let's keep an eye out for $39. That's what I'll be watching for. $39 is something to keep an eye out for. And when I was talking about the trend, this is what I meant. Like, we can see bounces like this, but at the end of the day, trend is the dominant thing, and we are gonna pummel down lower every time we get a bounces like this. So it doesn't work out all the time. So Amazon is another example for the same thing. We had some split news and everyone got gassed, and then like everyone started to buy it, and you saw what happened. So that's how these works all the time. It doesn't worth it. Like, if you want to go short, if you didn't go short already, and if you want to go short right now, we'll let you know the numbers right away in ARKK. The time for you to go short was at the declining 50 SMA at 45, but if you didn't do it yet, wait for it to break below 38.60. 38.60 and lower. We can go all the way down to run a test to $36 or $35 down south. What is said worth clipping, risk to reward? Yeah, exactly. Like most of the people just want to take trades. They see the part of making money, like that is fun, right? You can make $60 just like that, but how much are you investing to make that $60? That matters the most, if you ask me, because if you invest like $200 and then make like $60, it's not worth it at all. Like some people don't get it, like because if you lose it, you lose 200 bucks. If you win, you make 60. It's not a good trade at all. You're from North Carolina? If so, what part? I'm not from North Carolina. I am from Connecticut. Connecticut it is. So, what do you guys think about Cathy Woods? I'm just kidding. Okay, so I don't want to get into the rant of my Cathy Woods. It's like, I don't know. I just feel sad for her investors, man. Not gonna lie. I mean, like, they still believe in her 5-year bullshit, and I have seen some people still long this piece of shit stock ETF at like $170 or like $140, $130 average. It's absolutely unreal. I can't believe this was in one of the must-buy funds in most of these YouTubers' page. Like, if you're having a long-term portfolio, you should have ARKK in it because Cathy Woods know what she's doing, my ass. She'll be right in 5 years. Fuck off. Yeah, let's see. We never know. We never know, right? We never know at the end of the day. More like 10 years from now. Oh yeah, I mean, for 10 years if she's alive by the time, yeah. The best investment I made so far is this Discord. Thank Mario, I'm really starting to understand the market even in a bear market. Let's fucking go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's go. Thank you, this was very helpful. Appreciate it. Yep. As I said before, like if you like Cathy Woods, that's totally on you. But it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you like her or not. It's your money which you're putting in. But I mean, so be careful, manage the risk wisely. That's all I can say. Every time, like for all the fund managers I've spoken to, I've said this in the last stream as well. I'm going to repeat it to the new viewers over here. So for every fund managers I've spoken to, they are waiting for a bounce just to get out of their positions. That's what happens in a bear market, right? You get into a stock, you get caught up with the hype, and then like you immediately turns on you, and then you lose like what 70% of its value immediately. And at that time, what do? Like, let's talk about AMC holders, right? Like, what do you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna hold on to it, especially if they are tits deep into it? I don't think so. Every bounce they're gonna get next time, I mean, by some luck or whatever it is, like if it went down to like $70 or something, do you think these guys are gonna keep holding? No, they're gonna dump their bags, and it's gonna cause AMC to go down to $3 or $2 in the next jump. So never trust these people who talking shit like I'm gonna hold on to AMC, bro, like Ape Gang, bro. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah, these people are investing in something which they can afford to lose, and this gives a wrong impression to people who can't afford to lose the same thing, to go all in on a shit company like AMC and then get wrecked every time. And I'm pretty sure what happened to BBBY is going to happen to GameStop. I'm pretty sure what happened to BBBY is going to happen to like AMC as well in the future. Look at what happened yesterday. They are asking their employees not to use the air conditioner in order to cut cost. What kind of shit is that? Like, this is the company which is screaming for bankruptcy. So it's gonna happen to all the meme stocks which these retail investors are like. I mean, I'm a retail investor too, like, but still, like, you know who I'm talking about. But these people are praising like this is the next best thing or whatever it is. It's like, I don't know, they are investing with the money which they can afford to lose. Or are you doing the same? If not, time to reconsider the right positions which you're in. Is it a good time to DCA on high conviction stocks? What are the high conviction stocks we're talking here? There's a lot of shit ones and there are a lot of good ones. So you gotta tell me in particular what stock are you looking at so we can talk about it. Please don't tell me Palantir, by the way, I will puke. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's looking, I mean, I don't know. All these types of hype stocks which we had in 2020 and 2021, you can see the path which they all went. Look at this. It used to be the darling of Wall Street bets, $44. Right now, $8. So tell me what stocks you're particularly looking for and we can go over it one by one. So no worries at all. So what is SPY doing? Or we like doing anything at all, or we're just like, no, we're not doing anything interesting. We're just like hanging out, hanging around. Good. SMH, any luck over there? Bounce from 200. Oh, we didn't have a bounce. Nice. I mean, it's nothing burger bounce, but I wouldn't have traded it. But it's a $1.50 bounce. Is it worth it? I don't think so. I had 500 shares of AMC at $8, sold it this week when it went. Yeah, that's nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. Your cost average is so low, so damn low. You have your cushion. Like you can afford to hold on to it until AMC hit $14. You will still be in profits. But you can't say the same for the people who are new to the investing and then didn't know anything about it. And then these YouTube shitheads are pumping it every single day, saying that it's going to go to the moon, bro. I'm going to hold on to it. These idiots have like $1 million in their bank accounts, but you don't. So you gotta analyze your risk management over there. So that's good for you. Like, you're glad you sold it last week. Like, good profits, by the way. Tesla, Nvidia, Polestar, VTI, and SPY. I can't talk about Tesla. I can't talk about I mean, I can talk about Polestar, but I decided not to. But I'll first cover VTI and SPY. SPY and VTI, these types of ETFs goes higher all the time. All the time they go higher. What I mean by that is, when you see the historic charts of SPY, doesn't matter if you're going down now. All right, we are in a bear market right now. Leave that, we're not going to talk about it right now, but I'm going to zoom it out for you. All right, I'm going to zoom it out so you can see SPY. This is like, we're talking from 2008. Let's financial crisis. All right, this is the 2008 financial crisis. If you just added SPY, like anywhere, let's say you got it at the top at 2008 at $156. All right, you bought SPY over here. It doesn't matter. It went all the way down to like $66 or whatever it is. You just keep adding SPY and all the way down, and then you just held on to it. The SPY is currently trading at what price point right now? 370-ish. SPY and QQQ are going to go higher regardless of what it is. So as long as you're invested in SPY, or as long as you're invested in the market itself, statistically speaking, market always goes higher. In 5-year time frame, 10-year time frame, SPY will always be higher than where it is trading at right now. That's why bear markets doesn't last forever. But bull markets, I mean, bull markets doesn't last forever either, but there is a higher percentage chances that there's going to be a more bull markets than there is a bear markets, statistically speaking. So it'll be safer investment. If you're scared, you can just invest in SPY and QQQ. If you're worried in times like this, you can just accumulate the shares. When SPY hit 350, when SPY hit 370, 368, just keep adding. In another like maybe 5 years, who knows how long this bear market is going to last. In another 10 years, the SPY will be, who knows, the SPY might be trading at around like $500 or $600 by the time. So we'll never know. So invest in SPY and QQQ in times of uncertainty. Tesla, not a big fan, but if you are, I mean, stock wise, I have another example. I hope you all heard about the company Cisco. If you haven't, I can give you the example with Intel. All right, the Intel is most familiar to most of the people, right? So Intel is a really good company, right? Intel is a really good company, and let's say like the stock price is currently trading at $37. what do you think the all-time highs for Intel is? You think it happened over here, which is at $68? No, you have to go all the way back, all the way back, all the way back to 2000, year 2000. That's where the all-time highs for Intel was, which is at 75.60 at September of 2000. August 31st, 2000 was the all-time highs for Intel. Did we get anywhere close to it until now? Nope. If you got into all-time highs over there, there is no way. Like it went to like $69 on Feb of 2020. That's it. This is the difference between the stock. But along all this time, SPY hit new all-time highs like more than 100 to 200 times after this, where you can see individual stocks. Buy the dip on SPY and QQQ if you want to buy the dip and if you have convictions, not on individual stocks, because individual stocks doesn't always perform as well as SPY and QQQ. So in terms of uncertainty, go with SPY and QQQ. You will never be wrong in 5 to 10 year time frame. Oh, this is just one example, by the way. There's multiple examples of things went wrong for the stocks. Oh, SPY, nice green candle over there, all the way to 375. That's a good candle. So SPY is not showing strength until it breaks about 375. If it breaks about 375, it can go up to like 377. So until then, let's see. Most likely it's gonna get rejected at 375.36 and pummel down lower again. Let's see. It's pretty expected, man. It's pretty expected. Let's see how the SPY is doing. Like as I said, if you didn't go short before, this is the reason why it said don't go short right now. There's no way. There's no way of knowing where the reversals will come. And reversals like this, if you spend $200 and now your contract will be worth like $80, you lost $120 or something immediately with this candle. So watch out for 375 to the upside, something to keep an eye out for. 375 is important. If not 375, if we break above it, then watch out for 378. So these are the two numbers to watch out for. We still have 25 minutes for this 15-minute candle to close, so let's see where it goes. All right. So let's just go back and see what's going on. We are at the time where like there is no point in like going long or no point in going short, but I keep an eye out for SMH. As I said, you can take the risk over here in the semiconductor space, go long or go short or whatever it is. So SMH is at the good risk to reward zone to the upside compared to that of the SPY, because your stops will be at 200. If you break below 200, you can always exit for a small loss, and your profits, well, if we have a run tomorrow morning, it's gonna be an interesting one for semiconductors, because we can go all the way higher to like at least run a test to like 203, or we are looking at the gap fill at 204, or running a test to 207. So these are the few levels to keep an eye out for, like, because the semiconductors is still holding 200 as support, so it has a good risk to reward to the upside from here, so keep an eye out. I like semiconductors here for longs compared to that of the SPY or QQQ or whatever it is. Because technically you're risking $1, and in order to make how much ever upside it gives you, when it goes up, you can always up your stops over and over and over again. And if it didn't work in your favor, you can always exit for like, even if you got deep in the money contracts, if it breaks below 200, you can exit it for like $80 maximum loss. If you spent like let's say if you spent like $1,000, all right, and it broke 200, or let's say you set your stops at 199, technically risking 2 points. So if you spend $1,000, maximum you will be losing is $160. If it keeps going higher and higher and higher, let's say it went to like $210 by tomorrow, you'll be making like 800 bucks. Now that's the risk to reward we're talking about. It's not about how big you win, it's about how little you lose. That's all it is. So you can always like get out of it if you're not sure about it, and you can always re-enter back in again. So you can see what happened in the 5-minute chart. It touched 200, bounced. So we're just hanging around that area, or we're gonna close above it. Possible if we close above it. Leading into the long weekend, I won't be surprised tomorrow we have a nice bounce with a low volume to the upside. So let's see. What else are you guys watching? So Apple, AMD, HD, what's going on with Home Depot? Oh, they're not doing so bad. They're not doing so bad at all. Are we talking about long term, or are we talking about trades? Like if you're talking about trades, I'll just leave this alone because there's no good setups over here. It's about below all the moving average. So not worth it. So what's going on with Apple? As long as Apple is below 137, there is no point in touching it because there's a high chances that it's going to go all the way down to 132. So SPY, rejection, of course it is. Yep, we got rejected at the 5-day moving average. So let's see if this candle closed below 373. It's gonna be the funniest shit ever. Right, whatever, let's just keep an eye out for Nvidia longs. Nvidia, where are we? Nvidia at 147, I like it. You can take the risk over there. And semiconductors is also at important supports. 147, where did I get that number from? Yeah, 147 is also the previous all-time highs in Nvidia. So keep an eye out for it. It's the highs of September 3, September 2020, November 2020. 148 is also the bottom. So 148 to 147 zone is something to watch out for in Nvidia, with semiconductors being at support, SPY and QQQ being at support. You can take the risk, why not? Like you can always get stopped out. You can get in at 147, 148, and you can set your stops at 146. Technically you're risking $2. All right, so it's totally up to you. So if you want to take the risk, you can take the risk. Please don't play weekly options. So if you're going to take it for expiring tomorrow, you can still be right in your trade, but tomorrow the Nvidia can just like, just to fuck with the options premium, they can just stay with like between 149 to 147 doing nothing, and your calls will be expiring worthless, only to see it go higher in Monday. So if you're playing weekly options, you should be right about the time, you should be right about the price. But if you're taking like something like month out or whatever it is, you still have time to like, let the price do what the price usually does. So taking longs here in Nvidia is risky anyway. So you're trying to bottom fish, but as long as you're doing it with the tight stops, I don't see why not. PCE, what is that? What are we talking about? Oh, Apple put 131 strike. Yeah, it's a, I hope it's not expiring tomorrow. I hope so. Call PZE call, just call it a day trade. PZE, what is it? It's not even trading in our exchange. Are we talking about the right ticker? Are you sure? Because I don't see that in our exchange at all. Who would have thought we got rejected immediately? All right, whatever. Like we still have 3 more minutes to close this candle. So let's see how the day goes. So I like it 170. I hope it gives me 170. If it does not, if it's not giving me 170 or the gap fill at 369, it's kind of like not so good to go longs at area. If it gives me 170 and 370, I will happily go long. 370 is the place I would take the risk at. I'll probably wait. I mean, if I didn't get it, I'll get it anyway in another 2 weeks, but still. The only thing which is concerning me right now is they're bouncing even before getting to that number, which increases the probability that if they go down, they're going to go down to fill that gap at 369. The volume is not looking that great either today. It's like kind of slow day. Leading into long weekend, it's expected though, isn't it? All right. Yep, they're closing below the resistance level again. Absolute bull trap. It's nothing but going back to run a test to that 5-day moving average and then get rejected again. So let's see if this shit show continues. Oh boys, I literally just got the CHPT right at the bottom. Interesting. Usually, like if you PFE, I hate spell check. Oh, I just let me see. Yeah. I'm kind of confused me there, mate. Like, there we go. I heard someone else was asking about PFE as well. Like, I hope he held his call. I mean, I don't see PFE went below $51. Oh, did it go below 51? Nope, it didn't. So I hope he held his call. Like, if he did, it would have been a really good trade for him. If he paper handed it, I feel sorry for him, but still, it's a good trade. PFE has a resistance at 52.36. You can call it 52.50. Like, keep an eye out for it. 52.50 is a resistance, which was where the bottom happened and we closed the day at. And if we push higher and close higher than 52.50, we can go up to run a test to $54 to the upside. Watch out. What sectors are leading today? That's something I need to keep an eye out for. XLU, utilities are the only sectors which is at green. All the other sectors are down, followed by... by the way, whenever you see sectors like XLU, XLP, or XLV lead the market, which means that there is a defensive side of tone which is going on. I'll tell you what it means. So always have these sectors in your watch list, all right? So in case of risk on environment, what I mean by risk on is people are willing to take risk, all right? In take of risk on environment, you should see sectors like financials, which is XLK. Financials, which is XLF, technology, XLK, and biotechs, XBI. These sectors should outperform. These sectors should be in the green. But whenever you see sectors like utilities, XLU, XLP, XLV, healthcare, healthcare, consumer staples, and utilities outperform, people are just parking their money in dividends and defensive stocks, which is not a good look for the market because they're not certain about what's going to happen in the future. So they're just parking their money into the stock, which actually pays them dividends, and it's a safe investment. So keep an eye out for these sector performances every day. So that'll vastly help you to know the overall sentiment of the markets if you're going by buy calls or puts. At the end of the day, price action is important, but in order to find the sentiment just by the get-go, just by keeping an eye out for it, these sectors helps. Keep an eye out for it and you will know what the overall markets are doing and where the money is flowing into, at least for the day. If SPY gives another huge leg down, I'm pretty sure the XLU will turn into red as well. For now, we're bucking on to that 374, so let's see. They massacred my boy XBI, so I'm pissed off about it, but it doesn't matter. Let's see, did we... I was so gassed about it and I'm embarrassed right now. You can see like this is the pink line which you see in this chart. Like I want to talk about this. This is called as a VWAP, all right? It is different from the VWAP which we regularly use. It's a different code which used to generate it. It's not technically an indicator, but it is really good to have it in your charts, all right? So in the trading view, you don't have to use any indicators. Just like go to, let me see where it is. Go to the lines, right? Go to the place where you draw the trend lines and click on anchored VWAP, all right? So go to the, for example, how do you use this is, let's say you go to SPY, all right? Go to SPY, or ES is an example. Let's just go to ES, all right? Go to ES, and you can clearly see where we bounced yesterday at, all right? This is the 15-minute chart in the futures contract of S&P 500. And this AVWAP is drawn from the lows which we had from last month, all right? So you can see exactly where we bounced at on the yesterday's trading session. Remember, we had this back and forth thing going on yesterday. So you can see where we found support at, exactly at the AVWAP. And a few days back, we got rejected exactly at the AVWAP when we started this dump. We're at, yep, over here. So you see this is the AVWAP from the top. So we got rejected exactly at the top of the AVWAP. So keep an eye out for AVWAP, know how to use it. Like you just have to like click the trend lines and then select the AVWAP from the bottom, and then like go to the temporary top of the chart and press on it, and it'll automatically give you that indicator. It automatically set you up. So if the stock breaks above the AVWAP, come down to retest it and then like holds it as support, that's the place where you go long at. From the bottom, the AVWAP is currently sitting at 3,800. So if by instance tomorrow SPY goes above and tests the 3,800, if you didn't go short already, that's the place where you can go short again. So AVWAP is a really helpful tool. I would recommend you guys to check Brian Shannon. Let me just type it out over here on the chat so you all can see it. AVWAP. And check out the YouTuber Brian Shannon as well. So these the strategy will be helpful. Of course, nothing is 100%, but it helps you know where the buyers or sellers might show up, or might you know, where the buyers might show up and where the sellers might show up. Tesla, what we are doing in Tesla, are we dumping? Real nice. That's what I need to see. Yeah, we filled the gap and we're going lower. Interesting. So we can see 639 in Tesla, 640 to 639. Let's see how it goes. Provided we break below the gap and we got to close candles below it and SPY got to get rejected. If you guys, I told you in the morning, if you guys got in at that bull trap at the morning at that 680 jump, this is a beautiful trade, like beautiful $20 trade to the downside. Tesla is one of the most retail heavy stocks, right? They try to like trick as much as people as possible while trading this. So you guys got to be very, very careful. It's so volatile, but as long as you're staying with the price action, I don't think it's gonna be so difficult to trade this. It's easy to make shit tons of money on the stock. It's easy to lose shit tons of money on the stock if you don't know what you're doing, because volatility works both ways. So let's stick with SPY. What's going on? It looks like SPY wants to go higher, but doesn't matter much. Let's see if we can take out 375. As long as we're below 375, we're just gonna be like bucking the trend and then going back and forth before making a decision. But if we go about 378, then 375, then 378 will act as the next level of resistance to the upside. What's a bull trap? All right, bull trap. Let me put it simple. Bull trap is when the market opens, you'll see a massive green candle. yesterday what we had on SPY is, 2 days back what we had on SPY is a bull trap, all right? So we opened with a massive green candle, like you see over here. This is what happened on Tuesday, right? Massive green candle, making everyone think that we're gonna go higher, and then like everyone will start buying calls, and everyone will be like, yeah, this is gonna go higher, this is gonna go all the way up to fill the 400 gap to the upside and all this stuff, right? And then once they lure back every bull's in, they just start slaughtering every single one. And then you saw what happened, like immediately went down, and then like you saw where it closed at. We went as high as 393 and closed the day at $380. So that is what the bull trap is. So at the beginning of the market open, you'll see a massive green candle, like making everyone think that the market is going to go higher, only to like reverse every one of the gains and then close the day lower or even in the negative position. So I'm pretty sure even if you're new to this, you must have seen this happening, but the term for this is called as bull trap. Bear trap is opposite, where like they dump it so bad in the morning, making everyone think that it's going to fall lower, it's going to fall even further, only to rip it higher and then close the day in the positive. So that is a bear trap. So this is where focusing on price action comes in. So as long as you focus on price action, there'll be days where it'll be tricky to trade the markets, but if you focus on the price action, at least you'll be having an idea on where to buy calls or where to buy puts. By price action, I mean like know the support and know the resistance levels. You see all the lines over here, so you got to know where the sellers might show up and where the buyers might show up. So you can see there is a resistance over here at 375, so we got to see if SPY can break above it. So some interesting price action going on in SPY right now. So what's going on in QQQ? Did we recapture 280 or not? Nope, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. You can see where we bounced at in QQQ. I had this zone, the red zone, which is drawn before, which is from 276 to like 280. So we bounced exactly. We tried to break below it, and then we bounced right away, and then like we are pushing to the upside. 375 is the rounded up number. I just round the numbers for the area of interest. I don't see it breaking above it. The exact number which I have here is 375.32. So not yet. I wouldn't call it a rejection yet, but we got to wait and watch how it plays out. So 375.32 is the number. So I tend to round the numbers off so to give the area of interest levels, because it won't be 100% accurate every single time. But it's not broken until we start closing candles above it. So it didn't close candle above it yet, so we got to wait and watch. So let's see if this 15-minute candle can close about 374. If we did, it's a higher probable chance that we're going to go up to run a test to 378, I guess. Is that where it is? Now we can go up to run a test to 376.16. Okay, I might take a risk in SMH and go long here. It's not a trade idea. Don't take it, you will lose money. As I said before, manage to risk wisely. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy, let's try this for 215. Do believe we were gonna have a bounce tomorrow. I might secure some of my profits in my QQQ. We can't go down much further, don't get me wrong. I'm just securing half of my profits in whatever I made in the puts which I got in NASDAQ like 4 days back. So it can go down way further than where it is at the moment. Right, so sell. I hate Robinhood, man. It doesn't fill me up on the contracts which I wanted to fill in. Nice call, got in it, climbed to Thank you. All right, nice call on SPY. I got in at 374 to 175 and climbed to 375. Beautiful. Hey Sorceress, what's up? Welcome to the chats. Good to have you here. Yep, I closed my positions on QQQ for now. So let me just let people know that I closed it. How much percent did I close it? I didn't watch. Ah, fuck it. QQQ put. If you want to hold on to it, do it at your own risk. All right, now that is done. Now let's see what's going on with SMH. I want to go long on SMH. Is it worth it? Is it not? I gotta see. I gotta plan accordingly before entering. Yeah, here we go. We can run a test to 376 right now in SPY. We're having a nice bounce here. Do you see the slow recovery for the day to finish green? I personally don't see it finishing green today because there's a lot of important levels for SPY to take on before even think about finishing green. They got to take on 378, they got to take on 376, which is the 5-day moving average. So let's wait and watch. I don't see it finishing green anytime today, but I mean, I'm not saying no to anything. So let's see. Oh, here we go in SMH. Nice candle over there. Alright, so these calls in SMH are absolutely ridiculous. What the hell? Expensive, expensive, expensive. The 205 call, which is expiring tomorrow, is $150. Absolutely unreal. The question is, do I want to take this risk or not? Amazon, nice. Can you guys notice where the Amazon gave the bounce at? That's something you guys need to keep an eye out for. 102, 102, 102, 102. Exactly the place where we were watching Amazon to go, and now the Amazon is bouncing from there. So let's keep an eye out for SMH. So if you guys can't afford SMH, you can try playing it with AMD or Nvidia. It's gonna offer you the same results as SMH, what SMH is doing at the moment. I'm not seeing a decisive break to the upside, but I'm kind of worried that if they gap the market lower tomorrow, it's gonna have immediate negative impact. So I don't want to take something which is like, you know, there are a few gaps to fill at 204. There are a few gaps to fill at 210. So do we have any economic data tomorrow morning? Global manufacturing PMI at 945, construction spending and ISM manufacturing data. All right boys, what do you guys think? Should I go all in on all right, I'm just kidding. Right, so up 18% on Nvidia longs. Are the option priced in standard fashion? Where can I find more about how they are priced? I'm always surprised of some of these options. All right, so option prices are a tricky thing to like explain. So let me keep it simple so everyone who's new can understand. All right. There is something called as Black-Scholes model. All right, that's how the options premiums are calculated. So one more thing about that Black-Scholes is like, we're not going to go into how they're calculated, but for now what you need to know is every call and every put premiums are calculated in a different ways. All right, this is where the Greeks come in, option Greeks. There are multiple Greeks to keep an eye out for, but there is this website called Predict Alpha. I think that's the website name, Predicting Alpha, In that, it will let you know what the implied volatility of every single options are for every single strike prices, and it will also give you the realized volatility, right? So sometimes you can see the options on SPY are way fucking expensive than how it used to be. So when you are looking at the options in SPY on the time period of like 27th of May to like 9th of June, it will be like way cheaper in the 2-day options in SPY. But right now, if you see it, it's going to be comparatively more expensive because the VIX is higher. So keep an eye out for VIX, step one. If VIX is way higher, option premiums on puts or calls will be way higher as well. And that's the first step. And the second one, keep an eye out for implied volatility. And every stock has an historic implied volatility to it. And if it's higher than the historic implied volatility, then you got to look for other strategies like iron condors, or you got to look for other strategies like what else, credit spreads, or like stuffs like that, which actually pays you credit, like covered calls or cash secured puts and stuffs like that, which will give you credits for whatever trade you're taking. In that way, you can utilize the overpricing of the options. So try taking a look at Predicting Alpha. I think they offer you 1 month of free trial to use it. Let me send the link on this thing so you guys can check it out. So it'll also tell you like how much the market has priced in to the how much is the expected move in the options, but how much is the realized move. Realized move is like sometimes options market will price in like crazy amount of premiums into it, but the stock won't move that much. So if you bought the contract, you'll be losing big time. So take a look at it. So this website is really good, and it also offers you a lot of information about how the premiums are priced into the options, so you can choose your strategy depends on it. So I just sent the link in the chat so everyone can see it. Any SPY calls? What's going on with SPY? Nothing. Are we about 378? No, we're not. So there's no SPY calls yet. Yeah, it looks like 30-minute candle didn't close below it, right? Like, yeah, we got rejected at the 5-day moving average, as you can see. So we got to wait and watch if you can break above the 5-day moving average to run a test at like 378, or else like we're going to come back all the way down to run a test like 374, as God said. So if you guys are trading this, make sure you're just scalping. Do not hold on to it, because we don't have a decisive move yet. The trend is majorly to the downside, and every single bounce, especially on the day like this, will be shorted as long as there is no news or any positive development in the price action in itself. All right. So if you guys are going long or if you guys are going short, make sure to scalp it and get in and get out, because I want SPY at 370. It didn't give me 370, but we did bounce off from 372. But it's all right. But let's see how it goes. So just scalp it. Don't go overly bullish and then get wrecked. Any AMD call for 2 weeks? I'm not gonna advise you on which time frame to take the calls at, but the best thing for you to do is watch out for SMH. If SMH breaks 200, exit them. If SMH is not breaking the 200, you can just hold on to them. Where are you posting it? Yeah, that's for the Patreon. Like that's for the Patreon members. Let me show you. We do have these are all the private channels, and this is for the Patreons. I called out the QQQ puts like 2 days back when I opened it, so I just let them know that I'm closing it right now. And for the Amazon, we called it when it got rejected at 116, and so I just like told them that I am letting it go at this moment right now. So I think the Amazon trade was called out on 24th of June. 24th of June is where, let me see. 24th of June is exactly over here. Yep, exactly when it closed above 116 over here. So that from the next day the trade was called out, it's gonna be like it did the 102 price target, and we just got out. So that's for the Patreons. You can join the Discord, and you do get the daily updates on SPY and QQQ on a daily basis as well. But The trade ideas are limited to the members of the Patreons, and if you guys are interested, the link is down below in the description. You can check it out. Can you please show the levels again for SPY? Yeah, definitely. Where is it? Yep, here you go. So 375.32, 373.92, 370.38, and 368.28. So these are the 4 levels which we are watching for SPY. So this is to the upside. These are the levels of support and resistance. So if you break above 375.32, then like there is a high probability chance that we can go to like 378. But for now, watch out for 375.32 for the resistance, and let's take it from there. If you break above it, let's take it one step at a time from there. Let's see where it's gonna go. For now, we came back to run a test and held it as support, so let's see if we can go all the way up to run a test to 378 to the upside. Yeah, it's a beautiful back test and we held it, so let's see. I got into SMH calls, by the way. Don't take it, be careful. So I'm gonna keep this to stream exclusive only. So I got the 205 calls, which is for day trade, expiring tomorrow. It's a very risky trade. I might cut it in a while. It's a day trade. I'm looking for it to run a test to 203.51 or filling that gap at 204. So that's what I'm watching for at the moment. So let's see how it goes. I'm not gonna fret here. I'm just gonna chill. So we are nearing the top of the gap here, so let's see if we can take it all the way to 204 so I can cut this shit right away. Fantastic. Oxy might come back up to test 59, so let's see. Oh yeah, 100%. So this is a really good trade as well. So we have like 20 cents to the upside from where we are trading at right now at this moment. So keep an eye out for Oxy. So we can run a test to the 20 SMA. Where is it at? Like, let's go on to the daily chart. Oh, okay. So I need Oxy to close about $59 today, though. If you close about $59, that's gonna be an interesting one. But until that time, I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. So energy is not looking good at this moment, at least. So be very careful with this. Snow really kind of like fucked most of the people up, aren't they? They are below. Oh yeah, they're still holding on to 139. Interesting. Snow is holding on, and SMH is pushing higher. I might convert this into spreads here. SMH. If SPY pushed to green today, I might lose it. Alright, so let me see where SPY is. I try to make it spin. Alright, let me see. Let me just take this in here, and let me just put another chart up there. So SPY got rejected at the 20 SMA. Interesting. So can SMH take it? That's the question which needed to be answered. The highs of the day for the SMH in the morning candle was $203.50. So below that, if you're not taking above it and the SPY is not going any further higher from where it is trading at right now, we can see SMH fall back down all the way to 200 again. So watch out. So interesting price action all over the place, and SPY is holding on to the 50 SMA. So just give me the 277 at least, and SPY, and we will be out of the long trade. And this is the 5-minute chart. So the 30 minutes is still getting rejected at the 5-day moving average here at 375.79. So let's see if this candle can close above it. If we can, that is fun. If it didn't, no worries at all. The 375 is a big rejection. Yep, so let's see if we can, like, what am I looking at right now is like the highs of today morning, right, which is at 376.93. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. So if we can close above it, that will be nice. So if we can at least run a test to it, that will be nice. But for now, the 5-day moving average at the 30-minute time frame is not looking promising. So I'm not going to go too bullish on this and then get whacked immediately. So I'm just keeping an eye out for it and watching what's going to happen right now at this moment. SMH is at support. That's something to keep an eye out for. Amazon is at support. Yeah, it's all fine. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Like, let's see if we can take out the highs. If we can take out the highs, that'll be like a good thing to watch. But for now, I'm just like watching right now. I'm already in the SMH trade, so I'm not panicking any at the moment. SMH, I want to see SMH, like there's like 15 more minutes left. I want to see this close about 203.13. I want to see this at least close about 203 in the last 15-minute candle. So let's see how it goes. My risk for SMH at the moment is at 200. So if it go below 200, I'm out. If it didn't, I'm still holding on to it. So the last 15 minutes, here we go. So interesting. So if you guys enjoy the stream, I would really appreciate it if you guys can leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You can join the Discord in the link down below in the description. Check out the Patreon as well. The link is down below in the description. So you will get updates on SPY and QQQ every morning before the market opens. So I'll be there active 24/7. So if you guys want to have any question, you can reach out to me through DMs, or you can reach out to me in the chat. So we have a lot of good traders in there, and I'm sure you'll find it helpful. So check it out. So yeah, SMH is finally going up. And SPY is doing what SPY is about to do. So when the SPY hits 377, we can get out of the SMH as well. So that is what I am watching for. We are getting rejected in SPY at the lows. At the highs of the day, I mean, like at the previous candle highs, which is at, I want SPY to go about 376.89 to play the gap fill at 378. Until then, It's kind of not looking so good. Alright boys, so it's 11:15. I hope you guys found this stream helpful. I will try to do a live again tomorrow morning before market opens, the same time at 9:15. So make sure to join tomorrow morning. So I have 9 to 5, how to get to work right now. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tesla going crazy. Yeah, SPY is going crazy. So the Tesla is going to follow the SPY. All right. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye-bye.